shot clock, running. Welcome to Shot Clock. If you come in my lane, you getting your shot blocked. Coach Bub on the mic, yeah, it's a hot spot. This is the podcast, tune into the broadcast. It might be a special guest, never know who gon' slide past. Got some topics to discuss while making the time pass. Let's talk about rap, let's talk about fashion, let's talk about sports, or what's the latest gadgets, and I ain't trying to brag. This right here the best show. Cross over, then lay 'em up with the left though. Let's go. You got the rock. Time ticking, who willing to take the shot? Shot, clock, running. Shot, clock, running. Shot, clock, running.
Yo, it's your boy Coach Bub. We're on another episode of Shot Clock Podcast. And I got a very special guest tonight. I got the D-Train, the baddest running back, Delmus, Coley.
What's going on?
What's the deal, man?
I can't call it, man. I'm just glad to be here.
How you?
I'm good, man.
I'm here. I'm glad you finally came in and, got to chop it up with us, man.
I appreciate the invite.
All right, let's get started.
Yeah.
Man. So, coming up, man, you were surrounded by some greats during that time. The late great Ian. A lot of guys, man. So let's start, coming up when you were playing with Larkspur and everything like that, and how you came about it, and transformed into what we later on D-Train.
I played for Larkspur back when, it was Larkspur and Woodstock. We was going back and forth in the championships, you know what I'm saying? So my 4 years playing rec ball with Larkspur, we won 3 out of 4 city championships. Won the first one. Second one in 120 with the Woodstock. They beat us by a touchdown. And then 2 years in 140, we won the championship over Woodstock and Woodstock, and then the last one was over AP. Dang, man, there's a lot of guys. That started out young, man. A lot of great athletes, football players that I played with, man. And like you said, the late great Ian, man. A lot of y'all know me and Ian were real close. We were real close. And I've been playing against him since flag football. You know what I'm saying? He played for the Giants. I played for the Chiefs back in flag football. Then we were teammates through one of our championships in 140. Going back to rec ball, there was a lot of greats, man. I played with, Deion Blue Bottoms, you know what I'm saying, Kenny Painters, Leon Price. Leon Price is Green Run, you know what I mean? He's always a legend, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the 757 legends that rarely talked about. Like I said, Ian Scarborough, you know what I'm saying? If he would have had a chance to play, all his high school years, would have been somebody we be talking about today, maybe on Sundays. Barry Drakeford, you know what I'm saying? So played with a lot of greats growing up. CJ Faden, Kai Parham, you know what I mean? So a lot of guys, that left a footprint in high school ball, they've been leaving footprints since rec ball, you know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, I played along with all those guys, man. And D-Train was one of them names. I just, one of my...
Who gave you that name?
Oh, man, it was Coach Harold, man. I was in 8th grade. He was one of our defensive coaches for Larkspur, man. One day, he just called me D-Train and stuck with it. Stuck with it, you know what I mean? I stuck with it. And I guess he just named it, had something to do with my big calves. Back then everybody knew me from just having big calves. You know what I mean? Big calves could run fast. So,
was it more shiftiness back then, or was it?
Back then, man, that's what it was, man. I was real shifty. You know what I'm saying? Make one miss, make the next guy miss, and take it to the house. A lot of guys that I played with in high school think that I'm a power back, but really, my game is more, make one miss, have a little bit of wiggle, and try to take it to the house after that.
Okay, so, so we established that, obviously you're a running back, right? So you transition into Kellam.
Yeah.
So what was that like? What was it just like being, maybe just being an athlete at Kellam and, going to Kellam High School?
Oh, man.
I remember I went to summer school at Kellam one year, and I was like, this is like a culture shock.
It is. It really was.
It was just way different.
It was different. It's hard being a, athlete of color at a predominantly white school. white culture. You know what I mean? My upbringings weren't with, you know, I played with a lot of, you know, black players. You know, I grew up around a lot of black players, and my coaching was, you know, I had a whole bunch of black coaches. So the coaching was different. You know what I mean? It was all white coaches, and you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's just the coaching styles it was a real culture shock. You know, I'm so used to having a coach, you know, get on my ass.
And, not to cut you off. Does that make a difference?
It does make a
difference.
Well, it depends on
seeing someone that looks like you a little bit more. Or?
It does. I mean, and for most of y'all know, I also went to William & Mary, which is predominantly white school. But you know, majority of our football players were black, and the coaching staff was mixed. But just going to a predominantly white school and being a black athlete, man, it takes a lot of will, and it takes a lot of, you know, a lot of strength inside you to, you know what I mean. You're gonna have some battles with other students, you know what I'm saying? You know, so because you're looked at as an outside, so you know what I mean. It's an adjustment, but it prepares you for the real world once you know start your 9-to-5 job. So you know, and that way it was a benefit. You know what I'm saying? So.
All right. So what were those early years like playing at Kelly? You know, before we get into, you know,
early years, man. First off, you know, I don't think I would have made it through school without, you know, some of my teammates, Barry Drakeford, John Trey Elliott, even Craig Smith, who came in my 10th grade year. You know, because they faced the same issues and encounters that I faced, and you know, they're along with me right by my side. So a lot of decisions that we made and how we handled things was a group effort. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to have, you know, somebody I could lean, you know, had a shoulder to lean on, and somebody I could vent to. So you know what I'm saying? So we made it through somehow, some way. We made it through.
Okay. All right. So we obviously the success starts to come. You guys, actually, it's funny. I thought about it. Y'all are the only team in this area that can say you beat Chris Beatty.
I mean, you're right.
I'm just saying that
right.
Nobody else in this area
Yeah.
has had success. I think y'all beat them twice, right?
Beat them twice.
Regular season and the playoffs.
Yep, and in the playoffs.
Let's speak to that year, like that, because y'all were really good.
That was.
Matter of fact, let's backtrack.
Oh, let's backtrack.
Because I remember being a freshman, finally get called up to varsity, you know, getting ready to get played a little bit. We about to play Kelly. Oh Lord. And you hit us for like 315 yards and didn't play the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I remember that Broken Beach record that game. It was 320 and 4 touchdowns.
I'm sorry, 320. Okay, I'm sorry. I
need my 5, man.
Yeah,
I need my 5.
You can have it.
But even backtracking from that, at that point when Lansdowne was built, we was gone. I lived in the Lansdowne.
I remember you working out.
I was working
I remember
out
the workouts. Y'all
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we was gone.
And we actually had Jack up here, and he said, I didn't know this. He said he had told y'all like, we ain't gonna really be that good. I think y'all should go back. I don't know if that was, but he had said something to that extent.
I mean,
he kind of mentioned y'all. I don't think we're gonna really be that good, and I think y'all got a chance to be, you know, pretty good at Kelly.
I think you know, now that you say that, you may have said something. I can't quite remember, but yeah, we were gone, man. We just we were done with Kelly. We were really done.
Culturally, was it culturally?
It was the culture, and it was the style of coaching. You know what I mean? Coach Jack brought that dog.
Yeah.
And that's what I needed. You know what I mean? I felt like that's what I needed to advance. You know, for me to become a better player. You know what I mean? I needed somebody that's gonna chew my ass, even when I'm right, or even when I'm doing good. Somebody's gonna push me and not baby me. You know what I mean? That's what I got at Kelly. I got a lot of babying. You know what I mean? And they catered to us few black players because, you know, the few players that I played against, Herb Jones, Craig Smith, you know, Barry Drakeford, John Trey Elliott. You know what I mean? We were the core of the team. You know what I'm saying? As far as the black players. And
shout out my dog Herb, man.
Herb, my man.
My college teammate, man.
Yeah, man. Love you, Herb.
My dog.
But yeah, all of us were in the Lansdowne zone. We were gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we also told ourselves, like, as a group, we're gonna make the decision to stay or go.
Okay. All right. So speaking of the Lansdowne zone, right? I gotta tell about the first time I met you, man. So, I had a friend at the time, of the other sex, and she was like, "Yeah, I want you to come meet my family, my brother." I'm like, "All right, cool, right." So I get there, meet the parents, good time. We go in the backyard, and this dude working out in the y'all had that little shit in the shed joint in there, working out.
Yep.
Like, man, who is this dude in there? Killing it. Just look up. Delmus Coley. Calf muscles bigger than my body. I'm like 12, I'm like 13, 14. That's funny though. And then we come back and you hit me for 315. So. I ain't never get you back.
Yeah. But talking about that game, man, that Lansdowne game. Well, going back, man, you all decided to stay at Coley for whatever reasons there were. You know what I'm saying? But talking about that Lansdowne game, I don't know, man. I honestly, before the game, I felt like it was one of them ones.
Yeah, we all had those moments where you just know, like, I'm about to do something.
Yeah, it was one of them moments, man. And maybe it was because I was, I lived in the zone, and this was actually, I'm playing against my family.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because these is all the boys that I grew up with.
The middle school
went to middle school with, you know what I'm saying? That I live with, you know what I mean? And I've been playing with all, since Little League. So maybe it was a little personal, you know what I mean? I don't know.
It was a
little personal.
Yeah, but y'all were loaded, man. Y'all had Brandon Pace, Noah Sutherland, Herb, Barry, Craig, Trey. Yeah. But y'all ran into Duke Creek. And that was the year with Dante Newsome, right?
They had Newsome.
R.I.P.
They had Antoine Carey. Yeah, R.I.P. Dante, man, one of my boys. Antoine Carey.
Yep, I know playing against him too.
They had
he was tough.
Daryl Tapp, Gary Freeman. You know what I mean? Josh Hyman, all the Hyman brothers, man.
Squad.
Shout out to DT. Yeah, man, they were loaded, man. They beat us 41-3, and we scored the first 3 points. We went downfield at the beginning of the game. Scored the first 3 points.
Yeah,
they scored 41 straight.
41 and answer.
And even that game, man, it was just like, it was Delmus Coley left, Delmus Coley right. There was a time I got the ball 9 times in a row. It was just left, right, so predictable. You know what I mean? It was just, I ain't gonna lie, terrible coaching that game, man. Terrible coaching. But
that's one of them ones you just want to get out of here.
Yeah, it was one of them ones I'm ready to, you know what I mean? Fourth quarter come quick. I had a decent game against them, but they really brought it, man. They really brought it. They were really good. Really good.
So, you finished your senior year, all state, all tower, all the accolades that would come with being a star athlete. So, what is your recruiting process like?
Oh man, the recruiting process. Early on, and even after I graduated, man, I was getting a lot of hits from the big D1 schools, and I had a few offers. Close to, and as a matter of fact, I had committed to UVA. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And they pulled back their scholarship a couple of days before.
Did they give you a reason why they did that, or
they ended up taking? It was either between me and I knew this early on. It was between me and Michael Johnson from Heritage. You know what I mean? And Michael Johnson, the speedster.
I remember
state champion.
Yep. 5, beat D Hall. And won the state championship.
Yeah, they ended up taking him and taking back my scholarship. So it's part of the game.
Yeah, it's a business.
Then I actually, me and Barry committed to Hampton at that point. And then on signing day, I just decided to sign with William & Mary. They came in, talked to me. You know what I'm saying? I like the coach that the running back coach, Coach Lindbergh, and the guy that recruited me was a black coach as well, Coach Beelan. I think he's at Wake Forest now, coaching. Man, me and him vibe real good, and I like the offense. And I felt like me going to William & Mary, I was really able to display my skill set because everybody thought that, and it's partly, wing T and, everybody thought I was a power back. You know what I mean?
Do you think playing in the wing T hurt you?
I think playing in the wing T hurt me, and You know, I didn't catch a lot of balls out the backfield, but my sophomore year, I actually had more receiving touchdowns than I did rushing touchdowns. I had 7 receiving touchdowns, so I was utilized, you know what I mean, out the backfield. And true skill set, because they saw that, you know what I'm saying? And so we got to William and Mary, and, you know, I'm busting out 100-yard games left and right, and, you know, I'm catching the ball 4 or 5 times out the backfield as well, you know what I mean? So and split me out wide, you know what I mean? So I was able to display my true skill set as a running back, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of, also during the recruit process, a lot of the schools pulled away because they thought I was this, you know, short, low to the ground power guy, you know what I mean? So, you know, playing in the wing tee, you know, did, you know, hurt me a little bit, but, you know, it's all good.
So was the Hampton commitment like a safety net?
It was like, yeah, it was kind of like,
because I never knew that.
Pulled, you know, once UVA pulled back, it was kind of like,
all right, let me get something.
Let me get something. Right, and you know what I'm saying? We young, we students, man, we don't know the whole recruiting process. You know what I'm saying? If I knew what I knew today.
Don't know until you go through it. And
that's
why I say like the younger brothers and the sons, they'll get it because you won't make that same mistake. But it's a learning curve, man.
Yeah, it really is. So, yeah, man, but I made the best of my opportunities at William & Mary.
So we get to William & Mary. And when you, like you said, you had already experienced, you know, being at a predominantly white school in high school, so it's not really a culture shock for you going in there.
Right.
So when it comes to the field, was it a competition, or did you already know, like, walking in, I'm gonna be the guy, or was it one of those ones?
You know what, man? I feel like any young player going on to college, you know, you're going to have competition because in college you realize, like, you know, the other guy they recruited that plays your position, or the guys that are there already, they were All-American, All-State, just like you. You know what I mean? Now you go lie, when I got to William & Mary, the running backs that came in with me, Trevor McLaurin, you know, LaVince Parrott, man, I thought every day at practice, I'm amazed by the things that they can do. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, these dudes is good. You know what I'm saying? Realizing that they just as talented as me. You know what I mean? But I think
that competition brings
the competition,
you know.
and I think also for young guys as well, man, it's, you know, you gotta be able to do all things well. You don't gotta be great at them, but you gotta be able to block. You gotta be able to hold on to the ball. You gotta be in the playbook and understand concepts. You know what I'm saying? So if you do a lot of the things good, or you know what I'm saying, you'll be great. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I did in college was just, you know, make sure I was understood and, you know, did everything that I could to make myself better by being versatile and, you know what I mean, and being good at everything instead of one thing, just running the ball or whatever it may be. So I think that's the thing that helped me. And then, you know, that just made the game easier as well. So, you know, I was able to flourish, you know, at William & Mary, and, you know, had a couple 100-yard games, and a lot of y'all know I only played one season.
Yeah, so let's get to that. So your freshman year, you lead the team in rushing. In the last game of the season.
Second to last game of the season, playing New Hampshire. So 4th and 2. 4th and 2. Coach called the timeout. Coach Laycock came onto the field. The huddle was like, looked at me and said, "Game's on the line. You get the first down." You know what I mean? We had the first down, secure the lead. You know what I mean? I told them, yeah. So they gave me a pitch. Well, the play was a pitch to myself to the short side of the field to the left.
Okay.
Before the play even snapped, they shifted everybody to the weak side.
So they already shifted.
So now I'm like, oh shit. So in my head, I'm like, you know, playing a quarterback, like, man, this dude better change the play or something. You know what I mean?
It's already the short side, like, we about to run a toss.
I got the ball, I got smacked in the backfield. Boom! Took a few steps back and realized I ain't hit the ground. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Started to advance the ball upfield. The line of scrimmage, like, made a guy miss. You know, made a linebacker miss. Or made 2 guys, got hit in the backfield. You know, made 2 guys miss. 52 yards downfield. Got to the 3 or the 4 yard line. The safety came, grabbed my shoulder with one hand like this, grabbed my face mask, turned it back, and then hopped on me, like put all his weight. And when he yanked my, you know what I mean, neck back, you know what I mean, and put all that weight on that shoulder, my right leg was planted.
I got you.
And you know what I'm saying? So I hit the ground. I just thought I got tackled. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang. You know what I'm saying? So I'm laying on the ground, and I get to roll over and get up. You know what I mean? I roll over. My whole body rolled over, but my leg is like an L, like a complete L, like this at the knee. You know what I'm saying? Sitting completely like an L. This is my thigh. This is my other, you know what I mean? My legs sitting like an L. Boom. You know, I mean, players is looking like this, and at that point, you know what I mean? I just lost it on the field, man. The trainers came and just looked, and they already knew, like they calling for that. They calling for it. Yeah, man, it was bad. So, yeah, man.
So what did you actually do to your leg?
I completely tore all 4 ligaments in my knee. I completely tore, which they say happens in car wrecks. Mainly happens in car wrecks. I completely tore my IT band that runs from your hip all the way, you know, past your knee. I completely tore the lateral part of my meniscus. My fault, my hamstring off the attachment. Completely tore the lateral part of my calf off the attachment. All 4 meniscus completely obliterated, like just shattered. And I have some nerve damage. So, it was my birthday too. So this happened on my birthday. So, you know,
Are you even supposed to be walking?
Well, I'm gonna get to that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? They braced it. You know what I mean? I didn't go to the hospital initially. You know what I mean? Because they didn't know I had nerve damage at that point. You know what I mean? But it's like if you lose feeling in your leg that night, we gotta do surgery ASAP. Man, my parents drove me from William and Mary home here in Virginia Beach. Man, I was probably home for 2 hours, man. I lost that all my feeling in my leg. Couldn't wiggle my toes, couldn't move, like, you know what I'm saying, move my ankle, couldn't do nothing. You know what I mean? And then next thing I know, my mom was like, they're waiting for you in the emergency room right now. They're waiting for you at the emergency room door. You know what I mean? They expect, you know, they drove me to the emergency room, hospital up in Williamsburg. I had to go back to Williamsburg or Hampton, I can't remember. And really, I mean, they were there with the wheelchair at the emergency room exit. And I had like a 6 or 7 hour surgery that night. And that was just to repair nerve damage, you know what I'm saying? Sat in the hospital for like 3 or 4 days. And then I had 4 more surgeries after that. And that was to repair all the ligament damage in the knee and, you know, all the muscles being ripped off the attachments. So I had 5 surgeries in 2 years, almost 2.5 years. And I was told, you know, you'll never be able to play again. You'll never be able to, you know, at best you'll be able to walk. You know, running, you might as well cancel that. You know what I mean?
So explain that. Now let's explain this journey and this process.
Man, you know how mentally fucked I was. I mean, you know what I mean?
Let's go back to 19-year-old you. Like,
right, man. I mean, football was my life. You know what I mean? Being able to run, that was my life. And just being able, you know, being told that you can't do something that you love, enjoy, you know what I mean, ever again. I hit
mad at the world?
Mad at the world, hit a period of depression. You know what I mean? At that point, you know what I mean, it was like, fuck school, fuck football, fuck everything. And there was a point I almost like just gave up on everything. Because, you know what I mean, just I wasn't able to do, you know, what I've been doing.
It was your identity.
Right, that was my identity. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I mean, the rehab, I was just half-assing rehab, you know what I mean? And I don't even know at what moment. I know it was before my very last surgery. You know, one of our trainers was asking, like, you know, telling me, like, we're going to up the rehab process and try to see how your body responds. And, you know what I mean? And then I can remember the day that he asked me, you know, how would you feel about playing again or trying to, you know, up the process to try to possibly play again? And at that point, it was like, man, shoot, I'll do whatever. What
was it about it that made him feel like you might?
You know, I mean, with the physical therapy and the surgeries, you know, so just everything the healing process was fast. You know what I mean? With everything, just fast and, you know, things.
That probably was a testament to your work ethic that you had already had anyway.
Yeah. So, you know, we upped the ante and, in my mind frame at that point, it was just like, man, I just want to get back to what I do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if I ever see the field again.
Yeah.
Just to be out there and run around with my homeboys, my teammates.
Yeah.
That's all I care about, man. So, you know, I was able to do that, and I played. I was able to play a few games, you know, my junior year, and then a redshirt in the midst of all that, and then my senior year, same thing. I played in a few games, but you know, it was a few carries here and there, but I wasn't asking for it. Like,
I know I'm not about to get 300 carries.
Yeah, I know I ain't about to get 300 carries. I just wanted to be out there running the ball, man, or just out there running around with the team, man. So, you know what I mean? And to me, man, that being able to overcome that, man, at this point in my life, now I feel like I'm overcoming. You know what I'm saying? Going through that. So.
Okay, so you graduate. So where does in between there into now, you know, obviously you're bodybuilding. What is that? What's in between that to get to us bodybuilding?
Well, early on, it's been a few years now, but a lot of people know I was like full on training athletes, and I still do. I still train athletes, man. And you know, I trained a lot of the NFL guys in this area. A lot of you know, I trained a lot of the NFL guys in this area, a lot of college guys. So I did that for a few years, and you know, sometimes life heals you.
Did that satisfy the competitive edge still?
It did. Being able to compete, you know what I'm saying, in just small confined space with, you know what I mean, a lot of the elite guys, man. You know what I mean? It did satisfy that will. But you know, after that, you know, life deals you lemons sometimes, and you know, I had some life things that I had to deal with. And after that, yeah, after that, man, just to get back, I guess, to keep me busy, man, just to keep that competitive edge, man, I took up bodybuilding, man. Just, you know what I mean? I love lifting weights, just put it to use somehow. You know what I mean? Just focus my energy elsewhere, so.
Is that preparation similar to football? What's the difference in that preparation?
Whew! At the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, it's all the same, man. You know what I mean? It all takes that mental fortitude. It's tough, man. You know what I mean? What's up, Jeremy? The preparation's still the same. You gotta put in hours of work, you know, the dedication, the discipline. That's what it is, the discipline. Discipline, that I can say, that's the biggest difference. Just the discipline. You know what I mean? Because bodybuilding, you know, your diet is key. You know what I mean? Diet is key, man. One missed meal can mean a lot. You know what I mean? When you're prepping for a show.
So is it different because like what's the difference? Like, I mean, how would you work out preparing for?
You think about athletes, or you think about football, so speed, power, agility.
Yeah,
that's what it is. You know what I mean? So a lot of movements that you're doing are to help you become more explosive. You know what I mean? To help you in certain areas on the athletic field. You know, bodybuilding, man, it's not about that. It's actually, you know what I'm saying? You think about athletes, you train those fast twitch muscles. You know what I'm saying? Bodybuilding is all slow twitch. You know what I mean? So it's all about gaining size, and you know what I mean? Gain as much mass as you can in the muscles, and you know what I mean? So the training is different. You're not doing a lot of explosive movements. A lot of them are slow movements, you know what I mean? And you're going till failure, you know what I mean? So it's a big difference in training.
Which do you feel you were in better shape?
Oh, it's too different, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm in shape now. You be prepping for a show and doing all this cardio, but I can't go out on the football field, or I can't go on the track and try to run a 40.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Team elite, baby.
you know, athletes getting with it. You know what I'm saying? Getting busy.
All right, so let's talk about we kind of skipped over the 2000 what? How many yards?
I think it was 2,238 total. That's including playoffs.
Yeah. So
regular
so
season
what was the record? Right. What was the record?
The record was
for the yards.
2,032 maybe.
Okay.
2,032.
So let's go back to that game because I remember reading the paper that you actually had the record, and then you lost some yards or something on a carry, and then that's kind of like why you didn't get didn't win the break the Lamar Steele record.
Man, I don't know, man. Looking back, all I know is every time I got the ball, the whole team swarmed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it got to the point during the game. It was like, yo, Barry, like, yo,
yeah, get off, like,
get off.
We're trying to win.
We're trying to win. Get off. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I got the ball, you know what I'm saying,
I was determined not to give up that record.
And they went into that game and said they're gonna derail the D train.
Gotcha.
And they put that shit in the paper, and you know that was their goal. They didn't give a hell if they lost the game. They was just gonna make sure that, you know, I didn't get the record. You know what I'm saying? They did a good job containing.
At the time, did that mean? Was it like
You know, I think well, beginning of the season, man, Larry Rabuma, you know what I mean, the reporter, he the one that put it in the paper that I was gunning for 2,000. I never personally said it, you know what I mean? So he said, I'm gonna put that in the paper. And I was like, nah, you ain't, man. So he actually put it in the paper, so I had to live up to it, you know what I'm saying? But I think as the season progressed,
when did you know? When did you know? Okay, this is. Because how did you start your season? Did you start off?
I started off with 200. I started off with 200 against Green Run. Started off with 200. I think my first 2 games I started off with 200. You know what I mean? I kept that pace. The only games I didn't have 100. 200 was Salem held me like 94. And I think Cox, it was like 199 or something like that. And then I got hurt mid-season against Salem. I had a high ankle sprain, and I didn't practice all that week. Actually, yeah, I didn't practice all that week after Salem, and the doctor recommended me get surgery. That would have been the season would have been done. So they had to order this special ankle brace, you know what I mean? And I wore that the rest of the season. And then, so the following game, we played like FC at like 127 or something. But I was able to make it through the season on a hobbled leg. You know what I mean? People don't even know that. But yeah, I wasn't supposed to finish out the season after Salem. Yeah.
Couldn't tell for that 315 you ended up.
And that was the game. That was that game where I made up all the yards that I lost because of the ankle.
Did. Yeah, that's for 315. What's up, son?
What's up, baby? What's up, man? I'm thinking about it.
Alright, so you know we gotta get into this. Yeah, top 5 running back.
Oh man, top 5. Top 5.
Your top 5 running backs.
Woo! I gotta give a couple people some shout outs.
Okay, let's do it.
For me personally, my number 1, and I've heard it on some other people's lists, I gotta go with Larry Elvis, man. To me, man, seeing Larry play, that's the player I wanted to be. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to be growing up. Seeing Larry play,
Mo Williams said that.
That's who I want to play. That's who I want to play like. You know what I mean? Larry did it all, man. He was something else. Larry, even Cedric Humes, man. Cedric Humes for Kempsville, man. That was a big boy, 6'2", 220. You know what I mean? That's a heavy load. And he has some wheels, can move. So I got to give a shout out to Larry, man. Sid. Even some of these young boys, man. Kevin Wade, man, he did it all, man. And, you know, he didn't matter where you put him on the field. He could have been receiver, and he would have been top 5 receiver. You know what I mean? He could have been top 5 any position you put him at. You know what I'm saying? Even cats like I even got to give my man Mo Webb. He's kind of, I put him in like a category of like Whaley, man. You put him anywhere, he's a super athlete. You know what I mean? And the story about Mo Webb, man, shoot, our freshman year, we had Bayside beat. Took down both their quarterbacks. Mo last play of the game, they put him at quarterback.
He won the game.
Mo had on the rec specs underneath him. Man, dropped back to a bomb, man. And that was game over. And he did the same thing when he was at Brandon Middle School. He played in, me and Ian played in Lansdowne. Man, our quarterback, I think it was Darius, might have been Darius Carr, man. You know, man, D.
First Lansdowne
You know,
quarterback, man.
yeah, man. D might have threw an interception. I mean, threw a pass and now this is middle school. You know, without the sticky gloves, like went up, man, one hand jump. Yeah, one hand took that shit to the house, man. It's just like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? I've been playing against both since we've been, you know what I mean, Woodstock, but it's like seeing that, man. It's like, man, this guy ain't supposed to be doing this at this young. You know what I'm saying? He was something else. You know, you got to give a shout out to, shoot, man. I know I'm missing a lot, man, that I played with. Jerome King from FC was a dog, man. He doesn't get talked about, but he had everything. Even back in rec ball, he played at Cook. He was a dog, man. Let me give you one more. Let me see. And then you know what I'm saying, some of the older cats like Gary Freeman's, Robinson from Cox. Chuck Robinson. You know what I mean? Those guys, man, they paved the way for youngins like me. You know what I mean? Those were the guys older than me. You know what I mean? So Larry, Gary Freeman, Chuck Cox, them three guys right there paved the way for, the guys from my class.
Who's your favorite teammate?
Teammate? Barry, man. He's Barry.
What made him your favorite teammate?
Oh man, just he was what I was on offense to defense at Kelly. You know what I mean? He was a playmaker. You know what I mean? So we fed off each other. You know what I mean? We've been feeding off each other's energy since middle school. At Lansdowne. So he's always my favorite teammate in high school. You know what I mean? He was just as favorite teammate is Craig Smith. You know what I mean? And John Trey Elliott, man. That was our little four right there, man. 4 horsemen. You know what I mean? So we all fed off each other's energy, man. We all made each other better, man.
Last question. Best game you ever had?
Best game?
College, high school, like you just feel like this is the best game you ever had.
Man.
One of those games like sometimes you think to yourself, damn, I really did that.
What's crazy is, some people think it'd be the Lansdowne game where I broke the record, but it wasn't, man. I had a couple games. That game I talked about early, man, about my sophomore year against Bayside. We were just going back and forth. And me and Larry Evans going back and forth, man. I finished with 173, and I had 2 catches for 33 yards. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, just that game. I think that game really surprised myself, and I was able to show myself that, damn, I belong in this league just like this cat right here across from me playing. So I think that game really meant a lot, man. And then I think another game that stood out to me was we played Ocean Lakes my senior year. I think I finished with like 260.
So that would have been Boatman?
That was Boatman, yep. And shout out to Antoine Boatman. You know what I'm saying? He was a dog as well, man. He was a dog. What boy could run that field? You know what I'm saying? But maybe because that game was that first game, like right after 9/11. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I don't know, man. It was just something about that game. It was like I really got to show out. You know what I mean? And Ocean Lakes, they've always been.
Because that was the year they went to the region, right?
No, not
One of
that.
them years they went to. It might have been the next year. It was
the
Bolton senior year. I think Bolton was out.
They was real good, man. You know what I mean? They was real good. And that game against y'all was Tallwood that year.
Oh man,
Yeah,
200 yards.
We got the legend Jeremy Gilchrist in here, man. Episode 3, man.
But let me tell you about that.
Episode 3.
Let me tell you about that. You know what I'm saying? Number 33. I'll never forget.
Shit, y'all ran all over us.
This little nigga was catching everything. I'm like,
Oh, he don't drop him.
I'm like, who is this?
Go.
I mean, this dude.
The best receiver to do it?
Barry lined up against him and stuff. He catching stuff. like get flipped and stuff. Like he's supposed to drop that. Like yo, what's going on? Like yeah, man, catching everything, man. Shifty,
young boy had a point.
Yeah, man. Say
I'm trying to tell you belong here. Yeah, what's up, Jerm?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Shout out to Jerm.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Appreciate you dropping in on me, dog.
Man.
This
Love
was
to be up here, man. What you got going on?
My guy, man. Delmus Coley, man. Shot clock.
Shot clock.